the Meg.TV, bro, because that's where it's at, yo. That's where it's at, yo. Because that's where it's at, yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of What's Your Issue? And today, we have a guest that everybody hanging around here should know by now. He got his fingers into everything, but he's a good friend of mine. I talk to him all the time. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to have Mr. Bogatalk over here. That guy, Jonathan Skinner, is going to interview our friend Chris Brown. Not that Chris Brown.
I need a sandwich.
But that is that Chris Brown. Look at him.
I get it all the time. Yeah. So
I think everyone else has the wrong Chris Brown. This is the right one.
Hey, can I ask you something there, Pops? You said in the intro there that the Meg is where it's at.
Oh,
the other guy told me that your ball was always at the rough, that you were always in the sand traps. I don't know how true that is.
Well, he had to try to make up some kind of he had to try to make up some kind of reason for his horrendous loss. Dante was actually a pretty good golfer. No, who knew? I mean, Dante could putt. Who knew? He could swing a golf club. Who
Stoners
knew?
love going to mini golf. It's totally a stoner activity.
He actually, look, Dante did pretty good. I was clowning. I was having fun. Me and Mr. Fringe were having a really good time. We were drinking. We weren't really caring about scores, but Dante, clowning, did really well. I mean, I was going up there. I wasn't taking practice swings. I was doing stuff just totally out of character for my normal golf game and having fun as opposed to concentrating on a great score. You know what I mean? I was having fun. And I did. I had a blast. It was great. Anytime somebody wants to come to town and challenge Dante or myself to a round of golf, we got you. Hell, I'll even send you out there with the Dread Pirate Pops. You take a sword.
I'm supposed to be here today.
Yes,
like the other Dante.
Yes. And hello, Sketchy. What's up, guy? What's up? I want you to know, Sketchy, that at Hall of Heroes Comic Con, I went to the con with 2 stacks of prints, some of yours and some of Levi's. And I went to the guy who runs the con. He had a huge table set up. He owns the Hall of Heroes Comic Con and the Hall of Heroes Museum. And I gave him all those prints, and I told him every time somebody buys something from you today, let them have a print. And he said every single print was gone at the end of the day. So I just want you to know your stuff made it into some hands. Levi's stuff made it into some hands. We had a good time at the Hall of Heroes Comic Con. Thank you, Sketchy, for all those prints to give away to lucky people. We appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
We know that kind of stuff isn't cheap, so that's appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah.
Definitely. And hell, it costs like, I don't know, $35-$40 for him just to ship them all here. It was a big stack of prints, guys. I was like, holy crap. Oh, cool.
Head to Denver. Heck yeah.
Oh.
There you go. All right, so what's going to happen right here is I'm going to shut the hell up and I'm going to let Jonathan interview Chris like he just met him. Because he kind of almost did just meet him. It ain't been that long, right? It ain't been that long. So, Jonathan may...
in underwear yet.
He might actually ask Chris stuff that I wouldn't think to ask or have already asked 100 times, but it's on him today. Yeah.
Amazing.
If you have any questions for the game developer, author, graphic novel guy, game demo guy, there are too many. I don't even know. This guy is too many.
Guy.
He does it all.
I'm just here.
He does it all. If you got questions for Chris, drop them in the chat. We will definitely pop them up and get them asked. Right?
Let's
There
do
you
it.
go. It's on you.
What's up? What's up, Chris? The right Chris Brown, not the wrong Chris Brown, but who I've definitely never met before. This is our first time talking.
Who are you?
I've been doing your Slaughterville stream, and it's a lot of fun. So I am excited to talk to you today, and ask you about Slaughterville, ask you about the creative process, and like you said, like Pops just said, maybe ask questions no one else has asked you. So hopefully that happens. How you doing, man?
All right. Favorite taco is a standard one. I don't like a ton of sour cream on it, and I cannot stand fish tacos unless that's a different story.
Well, what's standard? Because I'm in Mexico, and standard here is the street taco with the corn tortilla. And I hate corn tortillas. Is that the standard?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I like the flour. Although I want to try. What is it called? A birria or something like that, where it's they fry it in the grease and stuff. Oh, I want to try that so bad because I'm fat and I don't give a shit.
You know, the thing is I feel like Mexican food out here is like Chinese food in the States. It's like everything has the same exact thing and no one changes the recipe. It's just the quality of what the ingredient is. But there's no innovation out here in restaurants. Everything is the same. And it's, as an American, it's a very bizarre thing.
Yeah. Like I do my enchiladas. When I make enchiladas at home, it's the enchilada sauce, but I mix cream of mushroom soup with it to tone it down. Yeah, it gives it a little bit of something different, like you said, and just makes it. Yeah.
Heck yeah! Well, at least us Americans.
I know I cracked it up a bit, but
you're innovating the gaming industry. I mean, I've played 2 of your games now. I got it at the end of Slaughterville, so I'm not going to say that I'm fully I just walked in on the end what's going on, guys?
That's a Dallas thing to do, though.
It is. He can run really fast, I got to use that in a horror game. I should be the fastest runner out of this group, So. But so why don't you just tell us first off, just introduce us to Slaughterville and tell us about the idea behind it and what you were going for.
Sure. For those that are new and that haven't heard it before, Slaughterville is every town where all of your favorite horror movies take place. In a broad stroke sense, it was a game that I designed so that I could have as few boxes on the shelf but many different types of games. So, for instance, keep in mind, I have a couple, and this is just the one part of the board games that I have, and I like all different styles, right? Whether it's story driven, whether it's Euro driven, whether it's dice games, it doesn't matter. I like 99% of them. But what I did is I wanted to build a game where I could have modularity. So things can drag and drop as needed so that if somebody has to quit, that's okay. The game will adjust to it automatically. And then you could play with any different villain
because you
wanted.
kill them, right? Is that what you're saying? The game adjusts because you kill the character?
That is honestly a great thing you brought up. Because in the beginning, when I first created this game back in 2013, I had player death. But then that person would be sitting out and while the other people are playing. And I couldn't have that, you know? So I made Slaughterville 2, which addressed all of that. And now all of the villains are updated to where if you die, all you have to you get a new character, but you lose all your stuff. But that character died. And villains actually can depend on your character dying. So for instance, if your character dies, some villains will claim the body. And that's what they need to win is a certain number of bodies.
Oh.
And everything I build is cooperative, single player, except for one villain, the Demon Raiser, which is totally not Hellraiser.
It's like we've totally never met.
Exactly. But with Demon Raiser, you're taken into hell through a magic box cube thing. I don't know what that's from. And you guys have to. You're in a competition to get out, right? So only one of you can leave. Only one of you can leave hell.
So what I just heard is in the context of this new Slaughterville game that we started yesterday. I really do have to protect them kids because the slasher has a certain amount of bodies.
The slasher is just straight up. It's the easiest villain I have to do because it just walks through the town and kills at random. It just murders you. That's all it cares about. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But does the villain win if it kills a certain amount of characters?
Exactly. Yeah. As soon as a certain number of characters are killed, it's satisfied. It's collected enough death energy, and then it goes right back to sleep in the lake. So maybe that'll be enough when you're wandering around there next time. And not that there's a slasher anywhere near you. No worry, you don't have to worry.
I'm figuring I might get lucky, and Jonathan will be enough to save it. And
yeah, I don't know how good my swimming skill is. I guess we'll find out.
I say, don't forget your weapons are locked up in the admin building.
Well, now I know I can throw rocks really good. So no, I think the water balloon game showed me I don't need a weapon.
I having already read the book, I know most of the weapons are useless any fucking way. Most of them useless, right?
That's a different thing. That's a surprise. We'll let them figure that one out later.
Okay. So for me, I'm not even worried about the fact that the girl who has the keys to the building is gone. Everybody else gonna freak out on that, right? But I'm gonna be like, fuck, man.
I don't know.
Weapons ain't gonna do no good anyway.
We'll see. But yeah, so Slaughterville was made for that. It's made to have B-movie, campy horror fun, and let you pick from all of the different stereotypes. Yes, we have the stoner, the jock, the nerd, the snoop, everybody you can. I have 72 different characters. You can be a lot of different people.
Yes.
And you build a town out of 6 locations, and there's, I think, 18 or 20 something locations now. Over 24 villains. There's so much variety in this thing, it's going to be ridiculous. Now, in the concept of what is the town, think of it like, if you've read the books, which I know everybody has, right? You've all gone to Amazon. You've gotten the free, because it's free now.
No way.
The ebook, the Kindle ebook is free on Amazon with Kindle Unlimited.
Well, I got some money coming in next month, and I'm definitely going to pick up a paperback because I like physical copy. I just, Stan Lee, he said, comic books are like tits. They look great on the screen, but nothing's like holding it in your hand, Yeah. And I live by that.
And the town is, well, I don't know if I talked to you about it, which I guess is good. The town is malleable. It can change. It can modify as you're playing. And you're going to see that, too, if we go into later games. They saw that in New Neighbors when we played that one.
Yeah.
So like WandaVision style?
Yeah. This is before WandaVision, but yes, that very thing.
Like
and the town
knows. Nobody knows. All the townspeople don't even know shit. I mean, they know, but they don't know. They don't react. There's no emotion to weird shit going on. It's like they just, it's just normal.
Well, if it's the norm, it's the norm. I mean, I spent a lot of time in small towns, and if that's just how it is around there, that's just how it is around there.
The thing is, they don't know. There's something going on with them where they don't notice, because, like, if you have the movie theater one day and the next day it's a pizza parlor to everybody in the town except for the people that are the player characters. Except for those people, it was always a pizza parlor. There was never a movie theater there.
To them, people that lived there.
It's like if your family member goes missing or dies, they never existed. You didn't have them unless you're one of the players, because you know what's going on.
Yeah.
And the town is actually a prison for all of these different monsters. They're confined in their own special areas, which is why the slasher is at the campground, right? That's where she is. So people that go to these separate areas, they just happen to interact with what you have.
Well, I hope one day we get to do an Amityville inspired one because that is just the absolute classic. One of my favorites.
Well, the thing about it is there are, I don't know, a dozen modules, damn near a dozen modules so far
For
for
what?
Slaughterville.
The
Different stories.
RPG? Do you mean the
Yeah.
RPG or the board game?
The RPG.
The RPG I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 made up right now.
And are
And
all
then
those
there's-
on
And then
Amazon?
there's like 3 or 4 in the back of the original rule book.
Well, there's 2 in the rule book, and yes, these are up on Amazon. The RPG book and the extra modules. The RPG book is up there in hardcover and softcover, and the modules. One is a Moonlit Night, which is where you came in, and then the other one is New Neighbors. That's the Body Snatchers one. And those the only. Now, another one that he's talking about is The Doctor Is In.
The Asylum.
Yes, that's the Asylum, where he
Yeah.
actually. But that one isn't out yet. That's not out until the next campaign. So that was a preview.
Are you familiar with the real life story of Dr. Satan?
No, I never heard.
It's like he's a character in Rob Zombie's film, but he is an actual person that existed, and it's a real life story. Highly recommend going looking in. He was a serial killer in Nazi occupied France, and he killed Nazis, and he was just killing, and because of the chaos of war, he got no one knew, but he was actually a physician. He was actually a doctor, and he was sending people to go get treatments, and they were dead in his basement. You know, and people were paying him to murder them, and he got away with this because everything was at war. The police were dealing with Nazis, the Nazis were dealing with dissidents, and they didn't care about local politics. It was just a perfect storm. And look into that, man, for some inspiration, because that's a real life story, and it's crazy. And Rob Zombie made him a character, and he's a character in everything Rob Zombie does. But it's a true story.
Huh. I have to make it look. Go ahead.
Oh no, go on.
Oh no.
I forgot what I said. Anyway, so anyway, about the Slaughterville and about the modules, and at least the ones that you have out on Amazon, could you show us some of them?
Sure.
And kind of give us just a little, what's going on with them? What a brief description?
Yep. Let me grab the PDFs. I can put them up right here. It won't take me but a moment. And like I said, they are up on Amazon. And happy, joy there. Let's bring that one up. Go away. I don't need your pop-up.
Now, there's also 2 graphic novels in the Slaughterville universe as well.
3.
Okay, 3. I have 2.
We definitely got to get to those because I just love comics and specifically graphic novels. So that's definitely something I'm going to be picking up.
Share this one. Now these don't have the covers on because they were sent up for. If you know anything about digital publishing anymore, you have to upload the covers separately. So that's the only thing here. But when you buy them, of course, it's going to have said cover with it. And in fact, let me just pop this over here. So as you can see, so I wasn't BSing. Right now, Kindle Unlimited. How much is that?
$0.
$0. How can you go wrong with paying $0 for something? Right? This is a different book. But here's the Moonlit Night. Here's New Neighbors, and here's the RPG. And I want to go down to Slaughterville, Oklahoma, and actually give the mayor a game.
Yes, I love that.
Dante and Karen. Dante and Karen. We got to take Dante and Karen to Slaughterville.
Sure.
And take pictures all over town, right? In character. Pictures. I hope they have a golf course in Slaughterville.
Yeah. I
was in Oklahoma, not far from Slaughterville. And I had friends who were over in Slaughterville. And it looks like a horror movie. The whole place. There was a lake there that everyone went to go party at, and there was some type of bacteria in the lake, And so the beaches of this lake are covered in this red algae and dead fish. Like, it was so surreal. It was just, like, everyone's like, woo, drinking.
Yeah, I want to party around some dead fish, man.
It smells like death. And people are.
I think you're going to get Dante to party around dead fish. I'm just saying.
Again, that's just how it is around here. You know, like, we party with the dead fish. That's what we do. We didn't start the algae, you know.
I wonder if they'll let us film there and do a short kind of a thing, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, if they got a golf course, Dante will do another golf challenge from the Slaughterville golf course for sure.
But yeah, so we have, you know, the art, the special things and all that, and the much needed
first printing
kind of stuff. But the way these stories are structured, it gives you the prelude and it tells you what's going on in the story. It tells you which thing is for the GMs only so that you don't accidentally reveal it to the players. Yes, dogs, nobody's afraid of you. It adds the characters. But with the first one here, this one here we're looking at is New Neighbors. Well, I'll explain this part in a second because that's real important, honestly. New Neighbors is you get called back to your to the town to help out one of your relatives. It happened to be Aunt Millie in the game we played. She owns a bed and breakfast, and they're trying to decorate for insert whatever holiday you want to here. I picked Christmas. I think the other one we did was Halloween and so on. But then people start going missing, and they become pod people, just like Invasions of the Body Snatchers, and has their stats just like their strength, agility, just like you guys have. Only they're not as strong. But one of the things that makes this game different is not only the ranking of the dice strength, but it's this concept of story beats. Okay, in a lot of games that I've played, and I don't know how frustrating this gets for anybody else, but it does bother me a lot. In a lot of the RPGs that I play, the villain sits there and waits for you. Okay, it doesn't do anything until. Hey, Dusty. It doesn't do anything until you're ready to act. In this game, with story beats, you plan out day 1, day 2, morning, noon, night, everything. So this way it gives the villain something it's always moving forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like the plan, and they're doing their thing. And that's kind of fun. Yeah, definitely. I played a lot of
with
Cthulhu,
the slasher one.
Cthulhu, and this sounds familiar to what in that one. But yeah, this is amazing. You get your locations.
And then I list all the different locations that you might go to. And now obviously we can invent and we can do everything else, but in the locations that you might go to, I'll tell you the clues, any kind of fallout. So if you go there and something goes horribly wrong or horribly right, this is what could possibly happen, and so on. And I tried to make this as GM friendly as possible because as a game master myself, I know how frustrating that can be. I put little handouts in there for you. They did not find this person when Dante and Karen played, by the way. They didn't find her at all.
Oh man.
Nope.
So y'all
but they did stop the pod invasion.
Yeah. And we give maps. We do all this kind of stuff. We give character sheets of pre-gens. You know how that is. Because I want to make sure. Oh, that was ads. And that's the other thing I do for people is I always ask the people I know is, do you want to put an ad in here? So I got one. And this one is out there on Amazon right now. So everyone that buys this on Amazon, this is going to go out with it. And this is for one of my upcoming games. And that's my other game on hunting.
Speaking of ads real quick, I want to throw a quick thank you and shout out to Mr. Glenn Fleming, who sent me a message yesterday and said, Pops, if you want to put a full page ad in the Crikey magazine, send me the PDF. No cost, no nothing, just doing it for a friend. Look, come on, guys. Help each other out. Man. Spread the love. Absolutely. What's up, Max?
Cooperation and collaboration is where it's at.
Coopetition. It's co-opetition.
Competition.
Everybody
Now,
help everybody get better.
The Moonlit Night, again, is the one where Dallas came in. And to show how it's different is it still has the main story beats, like that monster, the werewolf is going to come after you. But it's only set on one day. That's it. Its main drive is this random encounter thing where you don't know what, when you go into one of those different areas. Remember how I had you guys going into different areas on the map?
Yeah, I figured that out real quick, and I was like, I'm not doing anything.
It is completely random.
Whatever you find there, but I don't want to.
Yep. Whatever you find there is going to be completely randomized.
I do have to say, though, from that game, that being Dallas's first appearance, he still thinks he saved the day, because as soon as he ran back to the house, the werewolf ran away. Literally, the werewolf ran away when he saw him, and that's his story sticking to him.
Mm-hmm.
So
I had a little.
I saved the town from the werewolf. Anyway,
these are just some of the cards you can print out and use instead of writing it down on your character sheet. I have these cards, and I have them here too. We used them. I showed them to you on the stream yesterday that you can get. But yeah, then we put the maps and we put, again, the character sheets in. But it's hey, who's this guy that's going out with everyone on it on Amazon.com purchase? Speaking of Amazon.com purchase, I am up for a 2025 KDP award for the Slaughterville novel. So the more people that go out and grab that, the more it brings attention to the novel, the more chances I have of getting an award.
Is that the free one or the paperback?
Both. It's both the digital and the paperback, so both of them count towards me getting noticed.
Pops, can you throw some links in the chat for the Amazon? That'd be kind of amazing. But hey, Edwin Buzz, how's it going? And Atrocity Comics, here to kick ass and shoot bubblegum. I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing too.
But yeah, that's the cover for the.
Go back up to that. I really like that. Okay.
This was done by one Mark McKenna from Marvel Comics and that.
No, I was gonna say it does have that vibe though for like 40s like detective, you know, like the noir, but like in a modern style. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't like werewolves though. Not a fan.
He's pleasant. I mean that's he was baking a cake, so that's batter that's dripping off his claws. Not. Yeah.
I mean, at least he's cute, I guess.
But yeah, so this is all about, again, it's just about beer and popcorn fun kind of a style. Getting together. Yes, there are rules to this, obviously, because you have to know how to win. But it's telling a story with your friends around the table. That's all this thing is for. And if you like campy adventure horror stuff, you're gonna like this. It's pretty much the same thing, you know.
I like
and
that
the novel.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I was gonna say I like that this game is more interactive than like the style of like traditional Dungeons & Dragons or traditional Shadowrun. It's more of a storytelling, in my opinion, in the lineage of like vampire and werewolf. And it's because what Pop said earlier, because it's of the interactivity, it could go anywhere. You know, and yeah, it's the game design and rules work very well to do what you're trying to do.
Thanks.
That's amazing. So tell us about your graphic novels. This is something I'm very interested in. Which graphic novels do you have, and are they based on the mod on the game, or are they independent?
So here's how everything worked out. I don't think I have any of the graphic novels saved on my new computer because I got a new one, which was much needed. But it started off with the board game, of course, and the board game is meant to give you, again, like we said, it's a story-driven game where you're going to each of those different locations on town, you're encountering the cards, overturning them, reading the story, and you're telling this tale as you're trying to defeat whatever the different villains are, right? So then we
Right.
went to the graphic novels, which is, what's my story? What's the story that I want to tell in there? He doesn't have the Amazon links. All right, let me get that for you quick. But let me see. Copy. I'm going to paste it in the private because I can't send it through the regular chat, I don't believe. Let me try anyway. I can only send it to mine. It doesn't send to his. All right, anyway. So that's the story there. But what I did is I took the concept of the graphic novels and I put it into the novel format, these novels are so much different than the graphic novels that they might as well be two different complete things. But it starts off with the beast within, which is the werewolf, and when Beth and her family were younger, Beth's youngest sister Maddie died. She was killed by a werewolf. Nobody believed her, of course, because who would? And it's in that town, right? So people don't really believe in that stuff. And then when she got older, Beth left, but her sister Carolyn stayed behind. Well, Carolyn gets kidnapped. Beth is drawn back in. Her fiance John comes with her, and wackiness ensues to where there's mayhem, murder, and lots of fun. And then it goes from there. It goes from the beast within to the slasher, which is the second one, the second novel. Then the slasher is the Cannibal Rednecks is the third one, which I'm just about 2/3 done writing the Cannibal Rednecks.
Right.
I've had people go, "Holy shit!" at certain points in that because it was, "Hey, Tank."
I imagine that could get pretty dark pretty quick.
But here's my thing: I am going to make you. I can promise you, I'm going to make you fall in love with Cannibal Rednecks.
That's my goal with Dallas. I want people to love to hate that dude.
Yep.
Be like, damn, that douchebag. But he's trying.
Yeah. Mayhem and murder are always wacky. Hey, listen, if it wasn't funny, Slaughter wouldn't have laughter in it.
We were laughing a lot. I was cracking up. I'll be honestly in the one that we did previous. What was the name of that wasn't Cthulhu? It was something similar that we just finished the game.
Oh, that was the Arkham Horror one.
Yeah, I was laughing a lot in that one too. Like starting fires. I didn't mean to. I kind of meant to start the fire, but I had a different intention.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to burn things down.
So where the board game gives you choices, right? You can go to any location, you can do whatever you want. You're still limited by the board itself. Okay, the story gives you my like as if I were playing the game, this is what's happening. The RPG, which is the next step after, is a wide open town. Do whatever you want, man. Here's the villain. Here's what they're doing. You go play. If you decide to play, let's say, the werewolf one, the Moonlit Night, and you decide, I'm not leaving that camp. I'm just sitting here. Well, then you're going to get attacked and killed by a werewolf because he's doing what he's going to do. Also, in the core rule book, not only do we have why does my brain freeze? The slasher one, right? The Welcome to Slaughterville. We have that one, but as a goal for the campaign, as a way to say thanks for everybody, in the campaign, I put in a Jack the Ripper story where you and your friends are in the cemetery at Slaughterville and you're doing a seance. Well, the seance goes horribly wrong because Jack the Ripper's spirit possesses one of you. You don't know who it is. Every one of the players, one of you could be Jack the Ripper. Now,
like
the Jack player knows who they
kids play. I forgot the name of it.
So, yeah, the Jack the Ripper player, they know who they are, but they are trying to stay hidden while Jack gets to increase his body count. And if he kills 5 people before you catch him, well, his spirit goes back because he won. He'll pick somebody else next time.
Well, here's the thing: is if you could just tie everyone up. For you know what I'm saying? Like, and some people might run fast, some people might not. But if you just get everyone tied up, you know,
but you don't
I feel
know.
like I'd have
You don't
an
know they're
advantage.
doing it. Yeah, you don't know that somebody is Jack the Ripper until people start dying.
Start falling.
So yeah, there's the Beast Within novel. I think she's
Is that the graphic novel or the novel?
This is the novel. This one's 368 pages.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you want to get the paperback, of course, there's the paperback too. But if you want one signed, I have a couple of hardcover left before I go to the convention.
Yeah, what
reach out to
convention
me.
are you going to this weekend? I saw you posting about that you got something.
Oh, that's in August.
August 23rd and 24th, I'm going to something called the PA Horror Con.
Okay.
It's done a lot here. It's the New Jersey and PA Horror Con. It's here quite often, but I finally was able to get a booth. One of the things I'm looking forward to, they have Tyler Mane coming.
Cool.
If you're not sure who that is, that was Sabretooth in Deadpool Wolverine. He was also Michael Myers. I think, was that the Rob Zombie Halloween? Because he was in Devil's Rejects too, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
But they got a bunch of people, like, guests coming. One of the guys that played Jason is going to be there, so it'll be pretty cool.
I'm sorry Carrie's not here to hear me say this. Pennsylvania Horror Con.
In fact, let me see if I can't.
Be full of South Philly lilies. They'll be everywhere. They'll be everywhere.
Yeah, there we go.
Horror Con. Yeah.
Yep.
Horror
Allentown, PA. Yeah, it is about maybe an hour from where I'm at, which is nice because I don't need a hotel. I'll just drive back.
Put your cursor on the map. Put your cursor on the state of Pennsylvania where it is, where the con is.
Right about here.
Yep, down there in the south. Okay.
Yep, because I am right about here.
So they don't say New Jersey, but no, that's closer to Virginia.
Yeah, they do. Like I said, they have the Jersey Con and then they have the PA Cons, which are usually in this area. But yeah, it's only about an hour from where I'm at, so that's not bad at all. And so if you want to come out and hang out, dude, I'll be there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Everybody in Pennsylvania, head out to the Horror Con.
It'll be fun. I think so anyway.
Have you looked to see if there's one in Slaughterville? Like actual Slaughterville?
There's not that I saw, but I was hoping.
Because there was a guy when I was there, he did like a traveling roadshow Comic-Con. Like he was just a seller who had a big collection and he would rent out hotels across Oklahoma and Arkansas, I think. And he would just like travel and hold his own Comic-Cons. But that was the only one I remember while I was there. And they just roll into town with a bunch of comic books, sell comic books and roll and go on. I was like, that's kind of brilliant, you know? It's instead of having a comic shop, just take your comic shop to the people.
Yep.
So,
and I know
that's kind of reinventing the wheel, and it kind of leads into a question that, like, you know, creators and especially people in games that are always like solving problems. Like creating a game system is like solving a problem, and a lot of the times we're like reinventing the wheel. Like when you came up with the idea of Slaughterville before you gotten anything, what was it that what problems were you trying to solve with the game? What was it that you wanted to do different, and what was it that you felt inspired to do better?
Got it. That's a good question. My main thing was, see, I got five kids. Okay, so my room is lacking. My goal was, as I said, is to get all of the different types of games into one box. And Pops has it. It's the big 20-pound box, which isn't made anymore, but the VLC box is going to have everything that has. And it is tons and tons of different styles of games. For instance, there's one, and this is what I think I do better than anybody, is they have slight differences or slight variations in win conditions. For instance, there's this one game out there, and I'm going to say this flat out. There's a board game out there called Camp Grizzly. Okay, I bought it, I owned it, I love the damn thing. I don't have it anymore because somebody offered me $600 for it, and I'm like, okay, here, right? No, not even a joke. Now it's coming back into print. It's going to go back into a reprint, so I'm going to get it again at like $30. And I'm like, yeah, cool, I made money. But even that one has only slight variations in how you win, because you have to either find the keys to the van, the gas, and something else, or if you go by boat, you find the keys to the boat, gas, and something else, right? Real slight variance, and they're opposite ends of the board. That's all that really is. But with Slaughterville, the difference in the villains is so vast that they really feel like you're playing entirely different games. Dracula is in the game, and with him, he's trying to escape because he came to Slaughterville, found Mina Harker, or what he thinks is Mina, and he wants to take her or him home. And your job is to find him and hunt him down during the day, and then at night, when he's vulnerable, you can take him. You can start trying to take him out. Stop.
You mean hunt him down during the night, and during the day, take him out?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. My brain is going 100
It's okay.
different ways.
I don't want anyone out there to think that they could take on vampires at night. I don't want to give
please don't.
The audience the wrong idea. You know.
Another one that we have is the zombie horde. Now the zombie horde starts. It's the only one where you have to have a location in location 1, and that's the cemetery, because all the zombies start in the cemetery, and then they spawn there, and then they march all around the town. And if they march all the way through the town, it does damage to the town. And once the entire town is broken, they win because it's overrun. How do you defeat zombies? I'm glad you asked. There's a little round disc I call the bullet disc. And based on your perception, there's a line on one of the villain mats where you start. So if you have a low perception, it starts here, high, and then higher. And you flick that disc onto a shuffleboard kind of bullseye where it says a certain number of zombies. So if you're in this location and you flick and you hit 3 zombies, boom, you've taken 3 zombies off the board. So there are and it's all just villain mats and a little disc. Same other components are the exact same.
Are you talking about like the 80 games where you would slide the things to knock things down? Like,
kind of. Well, there's nothing to knock down on the board, but you're sliding the disc, you're flicking the disc, and it slides along the mats, and then it lands in that target. I have it? Hold on, I'm sorry. It'll just take me 1 second. Just take me 1 second. Slaughterville VLC, VLC packs, villain, zombies, and naturally the zombies are with the
them zombies.
Cemetery location. I'm gonna put one there. It's only going to take me 1 more second. I am so sorry. Present, share, bada boom. There we go. Easy as pie, right? If you like pie. So here, if you take, that's how big I do the files, by the way. So
Which
here,
is good for me because I'm having a hard time reading my old books recently. I'm having to go re-buy everything in omnibus.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So if you have a perception of 1 or 2, you have to start back here because you can't see very well to shoot. 3 and 4, you start here. 5 and higher, you start here. And what you're doing is you're trying to flick onto this board. So if you flick it and it lands here, you suffer 3 damage, but you still kill a zombie. If you hit it here, you kill 4 zombies. 5, 5, 5. You get the idea.
Oh, that is fun. I love that.
It's a shuffleboard style, but it lets you, again, it lets you play the game in a different way. Now I have another villain who is similar to yet legally distinct from a certain other character that we call the Dream Demon. In the Dream Demon, who is not Freddy Krueger at all, you are trying to, just like they did in the first movie. You remember the first Nightmare on Elm Street?
Of course.
She set the traps in the house, and she brought him from the dream world into the real world. Well, in this one, there is a dream world mechanic. There's a real world mechanic, and you're able to set traps. So if Freddy, or not Freddy, is in the real world in one of those locations, boom, 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 all of your traps go off at once, and they nail them. That's what I mean. There is so many different ways that you can play this game. It's redonkulous.
That does sound fun. And I loved, like, I feel like 80s games had a lot of interactive stuff. I mean, I hate to say like Hungry Hungry Hippos, but I had one where it was like you would build fortresses and you would slide things. And those top battle games, what were those things? Spin Ninjas or something? I think they
I know what you mean.
reinvented the wheel as Beyblade for this generation.
Speaking of Beyblade, the guy that made Beyblade, he did that. He got the TV show, the whole 9 yards. He was at a convention with me once. In fact, it was the Let's Play PA convention back in, I think it was 2015. And I look up here for it because I have 2 awards from there. Best tabletop game and best in show. So I won, Slaughterville won not only best tabletop game, but we beat out PlayStation, Xbox games, Nintendo games, all of it, right? We won everything. And he was one of the people there, and he was showing off all of his board games. At the end of this, after I get my awards and everything else, doesn't he come up to me and he goes, "Here, I want you to have this," and hands me one of everything. I'm like, that was just the nicest dude. I can never say nothing bad about him. So, yeah.
Amazing.
That was one of the cooler moments I've ever had doing this.
Well, I mean, I remember it was, there were things like that. I had like a Ninja Turtles game where you had to like flip a dice, like you would hit a thing and the dice would come up and the dice would land with the number in like a slot, which told you, like, it was like this Ninja Turtles board game. It was really creative, and I like that you're bringing in these different styles into an RPG, because I mean, I definitely love like original Dungeons and Dragons, original Shadowrun. Shadowrun came out with a version called Shadowrun Anarchy, and I bought that book, and it was a storytelling version of it was rules-free Shadowrun. It was a storytelling version of the game, and I never went back to the graphs or they were like, we want to make a game that you can just play the game and you never have to open the book. So the rules of the game were how to create whatever spell you want, whatever gear you want, whatever you could imagine you could make. You didn't have to have books that told you what stats were, because the game was building the stats of whatever you could imagine in your head. And it's just, they reinvented the wheel, and I couldn't go back. I was like, storytelling game, But that's fun that you're bringing in those different aspects. You should literally do a mousetrap. Just a consideration. Dreamcatcher, it's like the mousetrap game. You got the Dreamcatcher or Dream Demon on the board. That would be so much fun.
That would have been fun. I wish I could do something like that. Yeah. But yeah, if you want to share that folder.
Wait. Did you send it in?
I just put it up like present screen, that kind of a thing.
Oh, do I need to share this? There we go. Okay.
So this is my my game folder, and it has all of the different games that I'm either planning or in the process of already making. Amish Life is going to be a farming game.
Dusty Trails.
Yep, that's going to be my Old West game.
So I have to tell you guys this because someone said Dusty Trails the other day, and I didn't understand the context, which, that's really cool because I love Westerns. I wrote a Western. Anyway, I room with a guy named Dusty Rhodes, like right now. And so everyone kept saying Dusty Trails, and I'm like, wait, Dusty Rhodes. And someone said it last night, and I'm like, why does everyone keep saying Dusty Rhodes? I keep hearing the name Dusty, and of course we have Dustin playing Dusty.
Yep.
Anyway, synchronicities.
Yeah, this is why I always keep screwing that up for his. I know it's not what the character's name is, but that's why I keep messing it up, is because I have this. But not only did I do Slaughterville, but I also have a game out called Gone Hunting. Well, let's do Gods of Metal first, since I'm in here. Gods of Metal is you become part of a heavy metal band, and you are standing on stage trying to defend reality against the overlords and the demons as they're trying to take over. And you're building up. Go ahead.
That's amazing. No, that's all. Go on.
But you're able to get upgraded gear. Like you get better costumes, you get better instruments because you choose whether you want to be lead guitar, singer, bass, or drummer, and you build up decibels, right? And these decibels are how you damage the overlords. So the harder you're playing, the better you're playing, the more decibels you build up. That's the more damage you're going to do to these overlords, these bad guys.
This sounds like, what was that name of that movie that Jack Black did?
It is a Brutal Legend. Was the video game that?
Oh, there's a video game that inspired this.
Sort of.
Pick of Destiny. Yeah, Pick of Destiny was what I was. That's like that end scene where they're playing the guitar against the devil. That's amazing.
And then if you know this guy, Chris Kale, actually, he said he wanted to be part of it, and he's from Five Finger Death Punch.
Okay.
Yeah, so he said he wanted to be in the game, so I put him in. But yeah, so that this game is a deck builder where you're just trying to make your band and make the greatest heavy metal music album ever. Because what happens when you're playing is you're overturning song cards and you're trying to build a beginning, middle, and end to your song, right?
Okay.
And as soon as you build the song, as soon as you have that song made, it unleashes all of your decibels at the bad guys. So that's how you're damaging them, by actually building and playing songs.
And this game is made, or this is a project in the works?
No, it's been out for I think 3 years now.
Okay, I definitely would. This is something I would definitely play. That's so unique, such a unique concept. I love it.
I'd have to open the PDFs, and I know StreamYard is with all that kind of stuff.
We have played all of Chris's games.
Yeah, yep.
At some point or another on the network.
And then I made Gone Hunting, which is as if you were actually hunting, but on the table. No animals are harmed, right? You build a unique hunting ground using hex tiles. And the hex tiles are different terrains like water, fields, or forests. We have a mountains expansion coming. And you put out animals and you go around and you hunt, you scout, you do calls, you do everything you can, but you roll dice in order to hunt. And you're going to get little shots on the dice, and if you get enough shots, you hit the animal and you're able to claim it. But this one has been out for what, 3 years now, 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, and we have played that both online, live on a stream, and sitting at a table with people. We played it both ways, and we streamed it both ways too. I mean, we streamed it like playing in different places, and we streamed us playing, sitting around a table together.
And I have Gods of Metal sitting. You know what? I'm going to pause the camera only because I'm fat.
Like nobody's ever seen a fat person get up before. I bet he ain't wearing no shorts. That's his problem.
Yeah, I was going to say the reason I don't stand up is because I'm either in pajama pants or sweatpants with like a nice shirt. I
don't
used
care
to
if people see my pajama
online
pants.
sales. I'd be in a suit with like pajama pants on.
I don't care if people see my pajama pants. I got Stewie and Snoopy and I mean, I got cool pajama pants. So
this generation's amazing because you really only have to worry about half your body when it comes to clothing if you're streaming. Oh, heck yeah. And it's a deck game. You said it's a deck building game, so it's mostly cards.
Yep. Let me open this up. And you're going to have tokens for your decibels and everything, and I'm not going to open the pack because I can send this one out to anybody. But yeah, there's one of the villains. There's the characters. They're the band members you can be. There's one of the new instruments you can get. But yeah, this is here now, waiting for you to grab it.
And the next time he prints these up, there will be a Dante Rhodey card.
Couldn't hurt.
A Dante Rhodey card.
And then here, it's Gone Hunting. Still sealed, right? Everything's in here. I have some of these left, but it's 1 to 4 player family fun hunting. All right, there it is.
Yeah, Jonathan, if you're not aware, Dante's regular gig is the lead stage tech for the band Not High Enough.
Oh, that is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's his regular game. You know.
I set up stages for like 8 years. That I had a chapter in my life that I was doing that.
Oh, look at that! Isn't that beautiful? Slaughterville.
I love
Now
it.
this one
Is this
a much
the
smaller
board
one than
game?
most. Yeah, this is much smaller than most of the other ones because all of my other Slaughterville ones are standalone. In other words, it will come with all of the dice and everything you need. This one was my first villains only expansion because I just wanted to give people a couple of new villains. And it has the Bee Man, which is not Candyman. What is this one here? Oh, the Sleeper, which is not Jeepers Creepers. The Vermies, which is not Tremors. And the special one hidden inside of here is the Mirror Town. Now, the Mirror Town, we were talking about different ways to play. You're the bad guy. But the Mirror Town has 3 different plots that you can play. One is murder spree, where you're going around and just killing people. And what I did was, for each villain, they have their own unique 24-card deck. For the town, for the Mirror Town, I took every villain I have, and I turned them into a character that you can play in any Slaughterville. So if you ever wanted to play the Cannibal Rednecks as good guys in the other game, you can because they're sitting in this box. It's right here.
Okay.
There's another one in there where you're trying to stop an armored car, so you're trying to rob this armored car as it's driving around the town. But if it gets away, you lose. And a third one for that is you use those characters that I was just talking about, like Pokemon cards. So you're actually doing a Pokemon style game. All different games in one box. And this one you need to have either the VLC, Director's Cut, or Slaughterville 2 in order to play. Or Slaughterville 4 when that comes out next year.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's that.
So, can I ask about Escargot, the game that you had just crowdfunded recently? You said it was a racing game. Is it like a Car Wars style racing game, or is it like an old school, like maybe like Candyland, where you're going across? What was it? Because I'm fascinated with racing board games. Because I had Car Wars when I was like in the 80s, and I thought it was so cool, and no one's ever heard of it. And yeah,
you can watch us play Escargot live on the network as well.
Yeah, I made Escargot to be a family weight, family friendly style game. But you take these map tiles. I don't have mine. Do I have mine sitting here? No, I don't. It's in these stacks somewhere. Okay, like I said, I have a few games. But anyway, so you take these map tiles and you build your own track, okay? And you race either 1 to 6 or 8 snails now because I added a few extras. And you race throughout, and you're trying to Mario Kart style pick up the weapons, use the weapons, all while you are trying to save your cargo because, well, it's Escargot, snail cargo. You're trying to get a prestigious spot in that company as Escargot. It is the package delivery company that you're trying to become a part of, and they deliver packages across the garden. So you're racing to see if you get that spot, right? That's the whole premise behind the thing. But it's really just you roll dice and you race around to see who gets to the end and has most of their cargo.
And you notice the snail part of it is a shot at worldwide shipping.
Well, they're a bit on the slower side, but
I would have never guessed that this was a metaphor.
Well, that's what I do. That's what I do.
You're like, they took so long to deliver my Kickstarter that I'm going to make a game mocking these people.
But it's fun. It's just a good time for
that's literally 4D chess.
Anybody. Yeah. Yeah, as long as you like racing games, modularity, Mario Kart kind of a deal, this is what you're going to be into. Dustin keeps beating his kids in it, from what I keep hearing.
Yep.
He should send those kids to the camp we're at.
I know. Why? So Dallas can beat him in the face with it.
Slaughterville camp. No.
Yep.
He would. I don't think he's bringing his kids to camp. Nope.
I don't know if this is universally a dad thing. I know for me it absolutely is, but I think it's universal that you just cannot let the kids win Mario Kart. And there comes
Right?
a point when they do win Mario Kart, and that's a sad day. That's a really
I don't
sad
let
day.
I don't let the
But
kids
isn't that a
win
universal
anything.
dad rule?
I'm gonna tell you a grandpa rule. You don't let the kids win anything.
Okay. For me, it's just Mario Kart. I let her win like we were playing Pokemon and stuff. Like,
No. I'm not gonna let them win nothing. They earn that. They're gonna earn it. They're gonna earn every bit of it. Just like I did. They're gonna earn it.
Now, there's another one that's coming out. Well, a couple of them I have coming out for soon, really, not long now. This one is called Indie Comics Battleground, right? It's yeah, it's one I designed so that you are able to bring in any indie comics characters, creators. Yeah, from Max DeVille, Atrocity Press. He
I
asked
was going to
me
say,
to design.
I try to explain people in my other streaming life like what the indie comic scene is like, and the way I describe it is, you remember battle rap in the 80s where like everyone was like doing drive-bys like Biggie and Tupac, and like everyone's trashing each other, like that's indie comics.
Well, with this one, you can actually, and I have a formula all laid out, spreadsheet, nerdy stuff, right? Where you can take any character, and as long as you keep them within my spreadsheet, within my numerical limit, you can fight anybody against anybody. So you can see who would actually win. And this is another deck building game. Go ahead.
Can I like so I can I don't know, I'm just the War for Christmas, the book that I'm working on, I've got some amazing characters and so I could play as these characters in here, or
you can play as Rita.
Can I? So okay, explain like how do you get the indie character and build the characters? I'll let you.
Sure. With this one, I started off with Max's because he's the one that asked me to design it for him. Started off with his Ninja Bimbos one, and why in the world are you not doing that? There you go. And we have characters. We have different character cards, and each character is going to come with a set deck, but they're also going to be able to get booster packs and upgrade your deck and everything else, right? So it's like almost like a trading card game, and that's the style it's going for. But it's also going to have not only can you fight each other, but you can also do it cooperatively against a villain character. In this one, of course, it's the zombies. Yeah, this one's just about. I don't know when he's going to come out with it exactly, but I mean, it's all done. It's just it's gotta. We're working on when it's going to come out. But I had this game. I forget how long now. 2 years I've been playing it. So
I noticed on the card and the stats, I was like, that's very HeroClix. And yet, I know we've talked about this. We've never played HeroClix together, but I'm definitely a HeroClix stan. And I think from our conversations, you're a pretty big HeroClix fan. Who's that? Oh, you do the horror clicks too, right?
Yeah, I have both.
Oh man, I had the Vlad the Impaler, like the actual Vlad. I don't have any. I lost them all a long time ago. I had a lot, but it was almost too much. Like I had way too many HeroClix.
Another one I have coming out soon, and I'm almost done with it. But this is one of my most difficult ones. Okay, to do. And I have no shame in saying that kind of stuff, but it's also going to be one of my favorites, I think. Scene of the Crime is a noir detective game where you have to actually interview the suspects in the game based on what evidence you find, and you get to create this branching story. And I have over 1,000 pages already for this choose your own adventure story called Scene of the Crime. So, for instance, if you are, let's say you're the detective in this game, and there's going to be different characters, detective, reporter, soldier, the standard, right? And you go to talk to the mob boss, Joe Hill. You talk to Joe Hill at the Green Room, which is his bar, right? And you ask him about a let's just pick the crowbar. You found a crowbar at the warehouse. So you can ask Joe Hill about the crowbar that you found at the warehouse. It'll give you one section, one path that you can follow. But if you found the crowbar somewhere else, it'll give you a completely different path. And then how you interact with Joe, whether you're, if you're a jackass or if you're a good guy, right? If you show the proper respect, you know what I mean? Then it can also give off branching stories. It can add cards to the different location decks. Like, let's say you do piss off Joe. Well, he's going to seed a mob hit somewhere in one of the locations that you just might have to come across. Like, oh, they found me, right? That kind of stuff. That's why this one is taking me a long time to do. It's because there's so many branches. It's going to be so replayable that it's ridiculous. Do you ever hear the video game L.A. Noire?
Absolutely. Was it a video game?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I remember wanting to buy that, and I don't think I ever played it. And it was a detective game that was like Grand Theft Auto. And wasn't it Rockstar too?
I believe so.
Rockstar do it? God, I remember I'm like, I have to play this game. And I never played that game. Now, thank you for reminding me, because that's going to have to happen now. But no, I do remember that game coming out.
Yep. Scene of the crime is it's like L.A. Noire, but in board game format.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I actually dated someone once who was, let's just say, extremely enthusiastic about getting interrogated. So I definitely would recommend this game to that individual. Is this
we had Doc Doc did the art for all this, so he that's where we.
So do you have like cards for what the mob boss or what the person that you're interrogating, like what they know, what they don't know, how to answer, like as a GM, like all that set up, and then you let the players play it out?
Well, what's going to happen is you're going to, as you go through the storybook, it'll say, if you ask them this question, or if you have this evidence, grab this card. You don't know what it is until you pull it out, but then once you pull that card out, then you give it to so then you can attach it to the suspect, so you always have that clue there with you. Think of it like your evidence board kind of a deal. That's actually what I call it, is your evidence board. I'm trying to get, I don't know if it will show. Okay. No, I can't. Darn it, I can't put it up there, so I have to do it separately. I'm sorry. Present, share screen, window, case 1. Keep in mind, this says case 1 because I want to do many different cases in this. And this is how the thing lays out. So if you are talking to this person about a piece of evidence that you found in a certain location, it's going to tell you where you're supposed to look. Does that make sense?
Those are page numbers?
Yep. Well, entry numbers, yep. So let's say you want to talk to Daryl. You want to talk to Daryl about the matchbook that you found in the green room. So you would say, okay, I need to go to 497. So you would turn the page. It's going to be a spiral bound book, so it'll be a lot easier to look at.
That's good. Stuff like that that can be hard on the spine of the book, where you have to have that Shadow and Anarchy book I was talking about earlier. I had that book. I read that book so much, the whole spine fell apart within 3 months of buying it for like $60. I was very upset. It literally deconstructed it. I don't want to buy it again because it was so cheaply made. But go on.
So then you'll go here to 497 and you'll read the entry, and he says, you hand the matchbook to him. He looks at you, says this. You tell him it's not the matchbook, but the message on the matchbook that's important. And then I don't have the choices written for it yet, but there's going to be things that you can say to him, or if you're in a certain case, that's what's going to happen. So I mean, there's tons and tons and tons of different branches. Like I said, I have 1,343 different entries written already. And I still have plenty to go.
That's That is awesome. And this is already available?
This one, Scene of the Crime, is not available because I'm still working on it. You can get Escargot, you can get Gods of Metal, Slaughterville 2 and 3, as well as Gone Hunting. All of those are available. In fact, I just did. I don't know if you know, but I do another show called Big Sexy Outdoors. And
I'd seen you mention it in like a hashtag, and I think I noticed it on the box just now. So go on, yes, Big Sexy Outdoors. What's that?
My cousin and I, we have an outdoor show. Every other Monday, we do a show at 9:30 or 9 o'clock rather, Eastern, and then every other Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, we do either just a BS session, but oftentimes we give stuff away. Well, we ended up giving away a Gone Hunting last night. I think we had 24,000 people on. But yeah, we gave away a copy of Gone Hunting. So
awesome. And Big Sexy Outdoors just said, "What's
Speak
up,
of the
fellas?
devil, and he shall appear." Look at that.
Who is BSO? Is that an inside joke?
No, BSO is Big Sexy Outdoors. That's my cousin.
Big Sexy Outdoors president.
Yep.
Ben, what's up, Ben?
Yep. But yeah, so we do that every Thursday, and I didn't even see that. Was that up before I started talking about BSO stuff?
It came on during.
Oh, okay. Keep in mind, please understand, I'm blind over here, and so I don't see everything. So if I miss stuff, I'm not ignoring anybody. It's just
he can't see. He really can't see.
Yeah, it's nothing
I've got
personal.
Like multiple pairs of glasses because I'm blind in multiple ways. And I still can't read.
No,
it kills me. It's like I got two glasses. Neither of them help me read a book.
I was 8 years old. My uncle tried to show me how to shoot a shotgun, a 12 gauge, and I was 8, and he didn't have me put it in my shoulder right, so it kicked, boom, and it broke my nose and it tore the retina off the back of my eye. So I'm blind. It's just.
So you hunt with the other shoulder?
Yeah, I shoot. Well, I am left-handed.
I've never
naturally.
shot like that.
Yeah, I am left-handed, so I mean it feels normal to me. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, so we gave away a copy of Gone Hunting last night. It was freaky, man. 24,000 things going on there. That's nuts. I think our highest we've ever had was 30,000 people on. So yeah, Big Sexy Outdoors is going pretty well.
30,000 people on Big Sexy Outdoors?
While we were doing live, yep.
Oh, heck yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's impressive.
Yeah, we are kicking a little bit on the butt on that side, so that's pretty good. But we
is that YouTube channel or
Yep, YouTube. We do YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. That's where we stream every time.
Awesome. I've got a really good friend who is a hunter, but he's also does like outdoor botany. Like he's really into going in nature and then finding plants. You know,
yep.
Definitely talk. He does a lot of that stuff. He also does that where you predict the weather by the sun stuff. Like he's really into that stuff.
Yep.
You know. But,
yeah, and we do all kinds of outdoor stuff. I mean, we have Bob Chase is a guy that we have on. He does rattlesnake hunts. The dude just caught a 52-inch rattler, and then he lets.
I have to tell you, Chris. We should be broadcasting that show to Pilt.
I couldn't hear. I'm sorry. It's really raining all of a sudden.
I said we should be broadcasting that show to Pilt and Rumble.
Can't hurt.
We really should be. I'm just saying, you should give it some thought, man. If you want to do it through our network, since it's already set up on those platforms, you can. But I would seriously consider setting up on both those platforms as well.
If you don't have anything Monday night at 9, I wouldn't see why not.
It wouldn't matter. We just figure out ways to juggle, right? That's what we do, you know. It could be tape delayed. It would, you know, we can replay it there, you know, if there's because I think like it's freaking figures. Sometimes it's at 10:30, sometimes at 8:30, depending on Zombie's schedule. So I would just do your show, probably like as playing it later at night after their show's over, and then
Yeah.
just replay it. It wouldn't take anything to do it,
Yeah.
Um, it's
Yeah, I
up
could
to you, but I'm saying I would consider putting it on those platforms. I would.
I always download the shows anyway, not for keeping, but because we're also on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, all the podcast stuff too. So I upload it to the podcast stuff. So I always have a copy of the shows handy if you need one for replay, that kind of stuff.
Definitely should be putting that on Peel.
All right, we'll get it done then. We'll work it out after.
All right, cool. Actually, I got a meeting after, but we will work it out. We will. I got a meeting with Max and Cause about 15 minutes. Going to be uploading the test package to Roku.
Nice. Yeah,
take a look and see how it looks.
I just told Max. I said because he was asking me about Indie Comics Battleground. I said, yeah, I've been swamped a bit with all the other stuff because all the games that I'm ordering and everything else. I said, I promise you, I'll have everything finished for Indie Comics Battleground by Monday. So, yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure because the game is designed. Keep that in mind. The game is all designed. But he wants me to do a trading card game style where it's you have rares, ultra rares, and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm doing over the weekend then.
So I'm just going to go ahead and ask.
Sure go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Would it be possible once I release the War for Christmas if I was to put together because I'm working on cards for character design for characters that are coming, and anyway, would I be able to do a what would you call it, like a version of Indie Comics Battleground with War for Christmas characters?
Here, that's the thing. I am designing this for Max. So it will be his game once we get all settled and everything else. But if he wants, if you guys work it out and he wants me to add your thing to it, I can add anything in it. I can add, oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? Jude. I can add Big James to it. I can add, Carissa's characters. I can add anything to this that
Memorial
we need.
Guardian Park.
Exactly. I can add all of it to it, but you have to go through Max. Work out the deals with Max, and then he'll tell me, hey, I need these characters designed. I'll do it with the art. I'll make everything else. And we go from there.
Let me put
I don't know when he's going to launch exactly. I think he said he's going to launch late this year with the game. It's going to be alongside one of the books, one of the ninja books. But he's working on, that's his job. He's working on the date for that. I just do my job and make the game.
Amazing.
Which is, it's fun. I like doing it. It's what I do. Yeah, I've been doing it.
I've been making games, and I did programming from a young age. I wanted to go into video games, and I've made video games for fun. I wanted to make movies. I make comic books for fun. All this stuff that I wanted to do, it's just like has been my hobby. But now I'm sort of seeing how everything, my hobbies are like kind of becoming a career, and it's been a long time coming, but I'm glad it's finally glad I'm getting somewhere to where I'm making progress on that path,
Speaking of being a programmer, there are two things, as like you're saying here, that have really influenced and helped me to do these designs. And that is one, I'm a computer programmer. I've been teaching and doing programming for almost 20 years. And two, I also have degrees in psychology and mental health counseling. So I understand how the mind works, and I understand how the programming works, so I can program and use and make it evoke those feelings that you're looking for. In fact, oh my God. Okay, side story, but you're going to laugh your nads off. I hope you will, because either that or I'm an asshole. I was in class once, and I was talking about how we are the result of our choices, right? And my students and I, we always have the good kind of banter. We know when we can joke around and BS with each other. And I said, look, darling, I'm going to tell you right now, you had no choice to marry your husband. I said, I knew you were going to pick that man no matter what happened. And she goes, what do you mean? And so I went through her life, and I picked out the key moments. And I said, now, all of those things, they're in your husband, aren't they? She goes, you mother. She went off because I said, see, you had no choice but to marry this one person.
Well,
It was
that's what
predestined.
I do over at iBoga Talk. I mean, it's mental health. I'm talking to therapists, integration coaches, medicine facilitators, anyone in it's plant medicine, psychedelic science, and recovery motivation and recovery science. So anything in that realm is over there. So if you ever wanted to come over to iBoga Talk and talk about mental health stuff, that's what that platform is for. So
I also taught them about neuro-linguistic programming, how you
I
can
am
use subtle.
a master of neuro-linguistic programming. I love neuro-linguistic programming.
Uh-huh. I just did it with something simple, like at the end of my speech, I want you to tell me what animal you're thinking of. So I gave this full speech, and it ended up like we're talking about puma shoes, we're talking about noir, that kind of stuff, and it was a black cat, right? Because all of the clues inside the speech led you to that's the only thing you can think of is a black cat. There was that one. Just all kind. I just like doing that kind of stuff with people. Now I had one student. He was in a wheelchair. But again, this is just how we were able to talk to each other. It was in the programming class, and this guy comes in and he's pissed. I said, "What's the matter, bud?" He goes, "Get the F away from me." He goes, "I've been working on this thing all weekend. You're going to come back here. You're going to fix it in 3 keystrokes, and I'm going to be pissed." I said, "Bud, you know dang well there's no way I can fix this in 3 keystrokes." He goes, "Okay." I said, looked at it. I said, "I'm so sorry. 1, 2, 3. Just run it. It'll work." I did. I fixed it in 3 keystrokes. My God, this dude was, but it was in a not really mad, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
In the guy way, like, you son of a. But yeah, it's just that's why I like teaching so much. It's why I haven't given it up yet, is because of these kind of interactions.
So that explains to me why your metaphors are so deep in your games. Like when you explained escargot, like I had a complete. I'm thinking like Candyland, like it was the snails were for the kids and stuff, but there's actually like a deep metaphor.
Yeah,
It's
everything
so
I do. My goal with everything I design is if you don't feel like you're there, if you don't feel like you're actually doing it, I'm throwing it away. I've gotten rid of so many designs of games because, well, like with Gone Hunting, if you didn't feel like you were actually out hunting, like exploring this new ground, if you didn't feel like you were scouting the animals, pulling them in, calling them, doing whatever, I'd have thrown this in the garbage in a second. And I did throw a bunch of designs of this away because I wasn't happy.
But we play test.
Now I can honestly, and honestly, I can say with this, it is just like you're going out, you're finding a new hunting ground, you're exploring it, and you're up against your other players, and to see who has the most trophies at the end of the game. It was real funny. We're down in Georgia, me and Pops. We're down in Georgia. First off, after I scared the crap out of them, I had this one lady come up to me, and she's like, "I don't like hunting at all." I said, "Well, just sit for a minute. You know, I can be charming when I have to be." So she sits, plays the game, gets up. She goes, "I can't freaking believe it." She goes, "I'm vegan, and I like this game." That's all I needed to hear. Thank you.
I mean, no animals were killed, vegan, right?
Yeah. So I put on the campaign, vegan approved.
That's hilarious. I was going to say, you could just pretend you're hunting a carrot.
Exactly.
All right, guys, I got to check out. I got a meeting, but you're more than welcome to continue on. You know.
Yeah, it is about 2:00. I got to get back with the kids anyway. So.
Yeah, I understand that. So we did put your things in the chat, so everyone can do that. Yep. Definitely check out Big Sexy Outdoors. Why don't you let everyone know where they can contact you?
Sure.
And see
2 things. One, the funny thing is that he mentions escargot. That escargot game started off as a joke, only because my son goes to me, "Why don't you make a game about package delivery with snails called escargot?" I'm like, "All right, I'm going to do it." So I did. But we are Laughing Rogue on Facebook, Laughing Rogue on YouTube, Laughing Rogue PA on Twitter Xy, right? I think I have a TikTok, but I don't remember. We're also Big Sexy Outdoors on YouTube, Big Sexy Outdoors. I think it's 2021 or something like that on Facebook. But I'm here. You know, I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
I do.
So we do it.
See you, Miss Kitty.
Thank you so much for coming, Chris. Thank you, Pops, for holding this. Thank you, everyone who's checking us out. Stay with the Madness Network. Pops, you got anything to say?
Yeah, I have a few things. We got ADHD Theater tonight. Okay, don't miss that. There will be no Freewheeling Friday for the next couple weeks. Brian is taking a vacation, a well-deserved vacation. He's done a great job with that show. And he's getting Roku ready. He's getting ready to launch, like he wants, when Roku launches, he wants to be with a fresh start. So he understands what we're doing. Go, Chris, go.
Hey, Kaz, if you're in PA around the August 23rd, 24th, bearing down near Allentown, stop in, dude. Just stop in and hang out.
I will mention that to him. I'll be talking to him in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I saw he was on here. That's why.
Oh, did he pop up in the chat? I missed it. Oh, there you go.
I thought he did.
Yeah, Max is ready. He's also in the chat. Kaz is ready. So we're going to go handle our business. He's on the other side of the state.
Oh, okay.
And y'all don't forget to give some love to Nim's D&D stream. What's that on Wednesday? That's
yeah. This is one of the things I'm about to cover because we got
awesome.
Nem did message me this morning. He said he's feeling good. He's good to go. So there will be Nem in the AM on Monday, and our episode 2 of the Nem Madness Gaming stream. We'll be back on Thursday with Chris for Madness Gaming with Chris Brown, and that's a weekly Thursday thing. You guys don't want to miss that because that's everything we've been talking about kind of happens there, guys. So game demos, all kinds of stuff. We get between campaigns. Sometimes we'll do some game demos or whatever. We like to change it up. It's not always an RPG stream. It's just good stuff, right?
We've definitely played a board game or two.
I also have another announcement next week on What's Your Issue on the 4th of July. The one, the only, a true patriot to America. Bruce Q. Wayne will be here for What's Your Issue next week. It's going to be good. What else did I have? We got Tuesday Morning Brew tomorrow. Everybody knows that. Or, on Tuesday with Lori. Jeez, it's Friday. It's Friday, Pop. We got draw streams all weekend. Look, guys, we just got a lot of cool stuff here. Don't miss any of it. Click that, ring that bell. So, you might not necessarily like all the shows, but you're going to want to be notified for the ones you do like. So ring that bell, man, so you don't miss it. Miss Carrie this morning. I don't know where Miss Carrie is, but we miss her. If anybody sees her out there, tell her we missed her this morning. Other than that, I think that covers everything. ADHD so. Theater tonight is pre-recorded because Dustin's anniversary. Everybody go tell Dustin and Pamira happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Dustin.
Give them some love because he's going to be taking her out tonight and doing the thing the way he's supposed to. So we pre-recorded the show this morning. So I will be there in the chat talking to everybody. But Dustin, he's going to be out having a good time, right? And I want to thank Addie for popping in this morning to help with that show and to lend her opinion of said movies. Kind of cool. Watched.
Kitty's here. Kitty joined us, made some comments. Hello, Kitty.
We watched Enola Holmes, the sister to Sherlock Holmes movies. They were pretty good. We liked it. Okay. Kitty, quit. See, that's the sign of somebody that works so hard the days blend together. That's what that is. You miss your own anniversary, you're working way too freaking hard. But hey, when we love what we do, we work hard at it. Right? Right? Jonathan, right?
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you got anything, Jonathan, throw it at him real quick. You got anything, throw it at him real quick, and then I'll start pushing buttons, man.
Yeah. So someone asked me this week, do we need to work out what we're saying? I was like, just push play. Let's go.
Tell them where they can find you, Jonathan. We'll get out of here.
You can find my website, ibogatalk.com. It's about psychedelic science, recovery science, on iboga.talk on TikTok. I do recovery, motivation, psychedelic science. And on the Iboga Talk podcast on Rumble, I've been having some really interesting guests. We're talking about psychedelic science there and a lot of the legal battles and stuff that are going on. So if that's something that interests you, you can follow me at Iboga Talk.
There you go. There you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good crowd today. We appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Peace.
See you guys. Thanks for coming.
Good stuff, huh?
In the heart of a major city, in a place raised to honor Earth's past protectors, the world will again learn, sometimes, superpowered intrigue doesn't stop at the grave. Galaxy Memorial Park, Volume 1, beginning crowdfunding Memorial Day 2025.
I'm Lori Calcaterra from the Tuesday Morning Brew, and I have a hot take for you. My friends, I am tired of remix, reboot, recycle, sequel, prequel. Aren't you? Like, where is all the new stuff? I want to know what's new in comics, in movies, in novels, and music. But for that, my friend, you gotta go to indie. Here on the Tuesday Morning Brew, we like to go right to the source. I interview indie creators, writers, artists, musicians, novelists, actors, you name it. They're all on the show, and it helps us keep a pulse on what's new, what's poppin', and what people are passionate about. Join us on Roku every week and other platforms live on Tuesdays. And no matter if you're drinking coffee, tea, or the tears of your readers, make sure you tune in to the Tuesday Morning Brew.